Look, material prices are through the roof right now. Through the roof. And nobody knows if they're ever going to come back. If you have something happen to your home and you can't get it repaired for 4 months because of the lack of materials, during that 4 month span, the price increases threefold on the materials. Does the insurance company owe for the increased cost when you actually build it? Or how much it cost when the loss occurred? Do they owe for that increase? They want to say they don't, but that's just bull. Hey everybody, all right. Yeah, wow, we got a great show for you today. Got 3 fired up contestants ready to go. Yeah, let's get started. What's our first prize up for bid on The Price is Right?
We're going to kick things off right now with something you can't even get your hands on for 3 months. 1 sheet of OSB. That's oriented strand board. Strong product built for load-bearing strength and construction. Great for sheathing in walls, flooring, and roof decking. Peace of mind. No cupping, warping, or splitting. OSB.
So whoever bids closest to the actual retail price without going over is going to win the first contest. So we'll start with you. $3,000. All right. Why not? Okay, next. $7,000. Okay, sure. Cool. All right, next. I'm going to play safe and go $1. Well, if you call that playing it safe, then by all means, $1 it is. All right. The actual retail price is one left arm. One left arm. Looks like we have no winners here today. This is a first in our history. All right. What do you think? The 7,000? How much is the left arm worth? Insurance companies don't want to change the price list once it's already written, because a lot of times the price list increases the cost of all of the items on it over time with inflation. Right now, we're experiencing an astronomical amount of inflation, mostly because of the COVID scenario. There was such a lack of material being made for so long that now that there is an extreme need for materials, they can't keep up. They can't get on top of the orders, and they're getting further and further behind. We were expecting a harsh winter to be able to catch back up, but that didn't happen. And now we've had a tough hail year already. Wait till hurricane season comes. So if the insurance company starts telling you that they don't owe for how much it costs to do the work now, they only owe for how much it costs to do the work then, the reality is they're partially right. A little bit. But they're using it wrong. Let me explain. The ACV value of the loss is owed at the time of loss. However much the replacement cost value would have been at the time of loss, minus depreciation, age, condition, however it is the policy actually applies ACV, that amount is what is owed immediately. They give you a certain amount of time in the policy to make repairs. And at that point, the RCV value is owed. The depreciation that was withheld is recoverable. And the RCV value is based on the amount that is actually incurred. So when they talk about replacement cost value, it isn't the replacement cost at the time of loss that they're going to owe. They're going to owe the amount that you actually incur. You don't generally incur that cost until the repairs are contracted. You could even argue that it isn't incurred until the repairs are actually made and that cost is now owed. There's a whole argument to be had on when actually occurs, and I'm pretty certain there's some case law that will come out of that whole fiasco of an issue later on. But for right now, let's just say it doesn't happen on day one. The amount that's incurred on day one is the actual cash value amount. You're not required to repair or replace the damage. But if you're going to, you have a certain amount of time to do so in the policy. So if they're going to give you 2 years or 180 days or even 60 days to make the repairs, whatever it is in the policy, then they are basically leaving themselves liable for the cost it's going to take within that period of time for you to be able to do the work. If they disagree with the amount of loss, that's what appraisal is for. So if it takes you 1.5 years to make the repairs for whatever reason, can't get a contractor, can't get materials, doesn't matter. If you have that amount of time to do it, and then you make those repairs within the allotted time, the replacement cost value is calculated a specific way, and it says in the policy how it's calculated. They will pay the cost that is actually and necessarily incurred. That's most policies have that language. It doesn't say they will pay the cost at the time of loss in that section. It might only say that when referring to ACV, but it doesn't say that when referring to RCV. If you happen to come across a policy that actually says that language under the RCV payment terms, then you got a bad policy. Nothing I can do about that. But for the most part, it doesn't say that. So they owe for the amount that's incurred, whenever that is. And if the cost has increased dramatically from the date of loss and the time that you're actually repairing the product or repairing the property. Policy? Really, Matt? Why was that so hard? So they owe that difference that occurs as long as they're within that gap. From the time that the date of loss occurred and the time they actually make repairs to the property, they owe for that difference. Period. If that loss sheet has an Xactimate date on it, make sure it's the most recent possible price list, because we know the material costs are getting ridiculous. Why would you not explain that to them and have them change the price list? And if they say no, refer them to the RCV language in the policy and explain to them that they have X amount of days in order to recover the replacement cost benefits. It's owed.
Left arm? What the hell is this crap? That doesn't make any sense!
Thanks for watching and listening to this, Bull. We really appreciate all of our viewers out there, and we love the comments that we get. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and notify everyone that you know in this industry that this channel exists so that they have a source for information that normally isn't given out. We're not trying to hold anything back. We're giving away the secret sauce. Help us do that by getting as many subscribers for us as possible. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.